Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum is still playing out that short-term move to the downside, so I will be talking about that in just a moment alongside some price targets and some other indicators here. Also in this video, I will be analyzing previous market bottoms for Ethereum to compare to what we're seeing at the moment. And later in the video, I'll be giving you another quick update on Cardano because we have seen a perfect rejection from the exact line of resistance that I was talking about yesterday on the channel. So definitely make sure you're watching all the way to the end of the video so that you don't miss out on any of this important information. And just before we jump into it, you might as well leave a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum $2 chart on the 4-hour time frame, and about 1.5 days ago, the price of Ethereum broke below this ascending line of support, which obviously at that stage that was a bearish signal, as I mentioned on the channel, but we didn't see a lot of confirmation immediately. But right now you can see that the volume has been increasing. And so as I've been saying in a lot of my recent videos here on the channel, that is something that we need to see in order to further confirm this break to the downside. And so the subscribers on this channel that have been watching some of my other videos would already know this, but for the new viewers on the channel, the technical price target for this pattern is coming in at just above 2.9k, which is almost at the same price as this previous low for Ethereum that we set just over a week ago. But something else to keep in mind here is the fact that the 4-hour RSI is getting close to oversold territories. We're not there just yet, but if we do start entering into oversold territories, that means that the room to the downside is potentially somewhat limited, at least when you're talking about the shorter term, because just taking a look at some of the other times where the 4-hour Ethereum RSI entered into oversold territories, that was right around here as the price of Ethereum had limited downside price action. And also the time before that was at the very end of December, right around here, when the price of Ethereum was due for a short-term bounce. And for any Ethereum holders out there, what we would need to see to prevent further downside price action is a bounce around that 2.9k level or above 2.9k, because if we're zooming out to the daily time frame for Ethereum and taking a look at some of the other times where Ethereum has reached a major market bottom, what all of these recent bottoms have in common is the fact that they're all pretty much either flat or slightly higher lows. For example, looking back in September 2020, we had a correction of around 36 to 37% to the downside, and then the price of Ethereum formed almost horizontal lows. But if you're looking carefully here, the second low was slightly higher than the first low. Now, if you're looking in the next example, which we saw during February and March 2021, we also saw a pretty similar thing. Even the size of the correction this time around was around a 36 to 37% correction to the downside. And how Ethereum bottomed out is we formed higher lows, as you can see. But then looking at the next correction for Ethereum, and if anything, this was more of a crash than a correction. And of course, that was that May 2021 crash. And that dumped the price of Ethereum by 60% to the downside, which is actually far more severe than what we've been experiencing recently. And due to the fact that that crash was far more severe than these other crashes that we were just talking about, the bottom formation also took a lot longer for Ethereum to play out. And in this case, we formed horizontal lows. Now looking at the next example, that was during September last year, which was a 34% correction to the downside. And if you're looking at the bottom for that correction, we formed very slightly higher lows. But for the most part, when the price was bottoming out, we were in a sideways consolidation, somewhat similar to this previous bottom that we saw during June and July. And if you're looking at the current downturn in the price of Ethereum over the past 2 months or so, that has been around 39% to the downside approximately, which, believe it or not, that is pretty standard for Ethereum, as we just talked about. And so for as long as the price of Ethereum can either form horizontal lows or higher lows here, then that is one of the first major signs of a possible market bottom. So as of right now, we have not seen that because we haven't actually confirmed this next low just here. But that is why I was saying earlier that we need to see a bounce before this previous low, which was coming in at around 2.9k approximately, in order to prevent further bearish price action later on. And on top of that, of course, we have the golden pocket here on the daily time frame coming in at approximately 2.9k as well, which would be providing major support for the price of Ethereum, and we already have bounced from that level right there. On top of that, it was only around a week and a half ago that we saw the daily RSI for Ethereum enter into oversold territories for the first time in nearly 2 years. So as I have been mentioning a lot on the channel recently, that is a sign that is telling us that the room to the downside is somewhat limited compared to the potential room that we have to the upside now. But anyway, just giving you a quick update on Cardano. Now, this is really just a follow-up from yesterday's video. First of all, just a quick recap for the new viewers on the channel. Around 4 days ago now, I'll let you know a buy signal for Cardano, saying that I was buying a lot of Cardano, and that's very likely we're going to see some bullish price action very soon. And then after I posted that video around 4 days ago, Cardano had around a 30% pump. And then yesterday, I said that we've got some major resistance at around $1.60. So if you're in a short-term trade, for example, such as a leverage trade, I will be taking some profit profit at around $1.60, because after we reach that level, we are due to see a short-term cool-off, a bit of a pullback here in the shorter term possibly, and obviously the price of Cardano is now playing out exactly that. And just zooming into the 6-hour time frame for Cardano, one of the main reasons that I was talking about yesterday why we might be due for a short-term cool-off here for Cardano was the fact that the 6-hour RSI was entering into overbought territories, showing us that we are getting a little bit overheated, and it was also because that was combined with the fact that we were running into this previous point of resistance as well. So the question now is where Cardano might go next, and there's a good chance that this short-term cool-off is going to continue to play out for at least the next few days. And as I mentioned yesterday, a short-term cool-off does not mean strictly bearish price action. It can just mean some sort of sideways consolidation as well. Basically, so the RSI can just cool off a little bit more down towards these neutral areas. And also, if you're looking in the 6-hour MACD, we are approaching a bearish cross, but we're not there just yet. So basically, if we do end up seeing that bearish cross in the 6-hour MACD, then that could be another short-term bearish signal that could prevent Cardano seeing a lot of bullish price action, at least in the immediate short term. And on top of that, something else that we were also talking about in yesterday's Cardano video was this chart right here. This is the Cardano to Bitcoin chart here on the daily time frame. And we also saw the RSI on this chart enter into overbought territories, meaning that we're getting a little bit too overheated here in the short term, and we could be due for a bit of a short-term cool-off. And on top of that, we have run into the 38.2% Fibonacci level, which is coming in at around 3,900 Satoshis per ADA. But all of this is talking about the shorter term. If you're talking about the slightly longer term, then honestly, I am leaning a little bit more bullish than I am bearish on Cardano, perhaps over the next few months or so. And I explained exactly why that's the case in yesterday's Cardano video, so I won't be explaining that again in this video. So if you are new to the channel, after you finish watching this video, definitely make sure you're checking out my last Cardano update that I posted yesterday. And if you're holding any altcoin, definitely make sure you're paying attention to this chart right here. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart here on the daily time frame, and right now in the shorter term, we have been getting another bounce from this level of support coming in close to 39%, which basically means that the altcoins are underperforming against Bitcoin if the Bitcoin dominance is moving to the upside, as it has been doing over the past 1 to 2 days. If the Bitcoin dominance begins to break above this point of resistance and this previous high right here coming in close to 41%, then in that case, that could be a little bit more bearish for the altcoins, at least compared to Bitcoin. But if we see another rejection from that point of resistance and come back to the downside, and especially if we break below the 39% support level, then in that case, that could likely trigger another altcoin season, or perhaps a continuation of this altcoin season that we've been in over the past few months. If you want to get extra valuable information just like this, make sure you follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. If you made it this far in the video, you might as well leave a like down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these updates that I post every single day. And with the amazing opportunity that we are potentially seeing right now, there has seriously never been a better time to share these videos around with your friends and family to get everyone involved in this amazing opportunity. Because realistically speaking, without these videos, the majority of the market misses out on these amazing opportunities because they only start hearing about crypto again once we're already breaking into new all-time highs. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.